Hi guys, once again I am James,
And I am Julien.
and we're here with a new show similar to Speed Run, but
Run.
we're going to be calling it The Walkthrough. We're going to kind of take a little more time with the gaming news, especially this week because there's a lot on the platter. We're going to kind of cover still the main topics, but go a little more in depth into them.
Okay.
The main thing we really start with is that we had the video. Wait, what did I say? Game announcements. Yeah,
There you
the
go.
Video Game Awards this year had quite a few big game announcements. We saw stuff like Mortal Kombat 11 getting announced.
Yeah.
The reboot of Crash Team Racing. What else?
Far
we have on
Cry
there?
New Dawn.
Far Cry New Dawn. Yeah.
Super Giants Hades. Obsidian's Outer Worlds.
And then
Joker coming to Persona 5. I mean,
Joker
Joker
from
from
Persona,
Persona 5
yeah.
coming to Smash. And I think my favorite, besides Mortal Kombat, my second favorite announcement was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, that one was not only very surprising because I mean once I saw it, I was like, is this like a I thought it was an Infinity, like Disney Infinity figures thing.
I did at first,
Because
too.
the style looks the same. Then once they zoom out and you see a little circle, I'm like, is this
Marvel Ultimate
Ultimate Alliance?
Alliance?
And then even more surprising, coming out for only Switch apparently.
I'm so pissed.
I mean,
So pissed. Like, if you watched our very first videos, you saw that one of my favorite superhero games coming of age was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, just because of the different rails you can go in the game, right?
Yeah.
And it's just upsetting that it's only for the Switch, and I wonder why.
I'm thinking it might be like kind of a Bayonetta situation where Nintendo's like, we'll pay you money to make this. Like, no one else wants to go out and fund this game. I mean, it's a smart get. Maybe we'll get like Wolverine and Smash Brothers now, because I mean, at this point, why not?
Why not?
It's yeah, that one was really surprising. Mortal Kombat 11 we called a couple weeks ago.
James definitely called
Yeah,
it.
we did a little dig and found that one out. The other one's the Outer Worlds. That's the one that we talked about as well a couple weeks ago. Obsidian's new game that looks really good. Kind of looking like a mix of Fallout,
With
Bioshock a
Bioshock,
bit,
yeah.
and maybe like a little Futurama sprinkled in there,
Yeah.
like the comedy
That'd
and
be
the
the best
style.
way I would put it.
Yeah, that game's looking pretty darn good. Crash Team Racing, I mean that's a good racing game.
So if you don't have Mario Kart,
Yeah, yeah,
This
that's
is-
true.
this-
If you don't have a Switch, there's your racing game.
this is your racing game.
Yeah, I mean it's Persona 5, which is weird because Persona 5 is a PS4 exclusive. Having
Time.
Joker from in Smash, that's when I saw that I was like, oh, they're gonna do Persona 5 DLC, and then he flips over the little the envelope he had the Smash logo on. I was like, hold on, what?
I was like, wait a minute.
That was one that really took me back. There were some smaller like indie titles here and there that are kind of sprinkled in. Nothing kind of big to note. Super Giants Hades looks like it's going to be a roguelike. It looks like it's going to play similar kind of like transition and stuff like
yeah.
that, but it's going to be actual like die repeat, which it looks fun. I mean overall the game announcements were kind of there wasn't anything necessarily huge.
No.
The only big one probably would have been Mortal
Mortal
Kombat,
Kombat.
but we saw that coming. So I mean, I thought it was okay. The Video Game Awards overall, they were like I think you asked me the other day, and I was like 7 out of 10. Like nothing insanely
It was-
crazy.
It had its moments.
Mhm.
The only thing is just I felt like it was a little lackluster.
Yeah.
Nothing fulfilling. The only thing is, like I said, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Mortal Kombat 11. Then we're gonna talk about the awards in just a moment. But
Yeah.
other than that, like,
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there
okay.
there were some weird moments where they had Pepe the Shrimp or whatever from
Yeah.
the Muppets with Ninja. That was a little weird, but I mean, overall, I thought it was a fine award show. I mean, I would have liked some more announcements, but that's usually what like E3 and stuff is for.
True.
So
and it was way better than Gamers Choice.
yeah.
We definitely will say that.
But let's go into a little bit of the actual awards.
Okay.
Um,
So
yeah.
if you didn't watch it, basically Red Dead took almost everything.
Yeah.
Besides the award that mattered, which was Game of the Year, and I called it God of War.
And the funny thing is, if we were actually like messaging each other back and forth during the award show, or like, how's Red Dead winning all these? Because it's not like Red Dead shouldn't have won awards.
Right.
It was just winning all the awards it shouldn't have won.
It shouldn't have won, right? Like, for instance, best performance. Best performance in the game. I thought Christopher Judge or Yuri would have won that one.
Yeah, and like I said, I was very did send on Brian DeChart from Detroit.
Detroit.
Because I mean, I hated that game, but I actually really liked him and his character.
And that's why I'm like, there was some like. Don't get me wrong. I love Arthur. I love Arthur Morgan. He's a phenomenal character in Red Dead. Still playing through it right now, but I would say that the better performances that I liked, especially watching all of Red Dead spoilers, was Yuri, Chris Judge, and I still haven't watched a lot of gameplay for Detroit just because I heard so many bad things.
I would just watch through it and you'd be like, oh, this is really like his character's actually really likable in a world of unlikable characters. Like he feels like a legitimate like even though he's an android, he feels like a legitimate character.
Okay.
Who goes like a good like character arc and stuff depending on how you play. But yeah, and also like best score. I think Red Dead won that.
Yeah,
too,
Red Dead won best score, which had no business winning. I think what's your name? McCreary, the one who did God of War.
Oh yeah.
Should have done it. Spider-Man, I mean, yeah. And what's it, Celeste?
Celeste had a really good.
So I would have said it was either Celeste or God of War.
Because that's when they went into the Game of the Year stuff and they started playing music for each one. Celeste opens up and it had like it's like, oh, this is a really good.
That's
video
what I'm
game
saying.
music.
Like,
yeah.
like out of all the scores that I've listened to this year, Celeste and God of War was really good, and that's why I was just like,
it
bro.
It definitely was lackluster to see. Like it made watching the awards like. I started actively hating Red Dead watching this award show because I'm like, it's taking awards from everything. And like the other big issue I had is some of the awards I would have liked to see have a bigger presentation. Like best fighting game, like this is a pretty good year for fighting games. And they're like, like no one can on stage.
Dragon Ball Fight.
Here are the nominees and here's the winner. All right, next. I'm like, okay.
Come on, bro.
I don't know. It was
alright, but my best highlight was. When Chris Judge and I keep forgetting.
I knew that was coming.
Kid,
yeah,
it's
like,
read it, boy. I was like,
yeah. Once they came out on there, I'm like, they're gonna do a thing. They're gonna do a thing.
Well, see, the kid did like Chris. It looked like Chris didn't even want to do it, and the kid was just like,
yeah,
do it, and he was like, fine, read it, boy.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the best parts of the night. I do like the way the video game awards are set up. I mean, there was a lot of good. Like, I liked Sonic Fox's speech because it showed like he was a very awkward gamer.
Yes.
And yes, he's like, I'm a black gay furry. Pretty much everything Republicans hate, and like it's funny all the hate I was reading online afterwards. Like, oh, he's a role model. He doesn't have to make a political message. I'm like, it's a video game award show. He plays video games for a living. Like, it's not that serious yet. Like, I know video games are like. I like that they're kind of becoming serious business, but like, calm down.
Come on, chill out.
He plays one-on-one fighting games for a living. He doesn't need to necessarily be a role model. I don't know. It was a pretty fun show. Not as cringy though.
As Gamers Choice Awards.
Yeah, the CBS Gamers Choice Awards.
All right. So. If you watched the Gamers Choice Awards Sunday night, nothing to you, nothing's wrong with it, but
I have the list of winners pulled up. Go ahead and continue.
But let's be completely honest. What the hell was CBS doing?
Here's the thing: I purposely didn't watch.
I didn't watch either. I was at work and literally it came on, and I was like, "Who's the Sunday night game?" It was the Rams and Bears, and I was like. Literally nobody scoring.
Yeah.
Or Gamers Choice Awards. I'll watch a game literally that had no offense whatsoever than to watch the Gamers Choice Awards. Because, like, he's pulling up the nominees right now, the nominations categories and stuff like that. It was like favorite game. Not even favorite game. It was like
fan favorite
game. Yeah, there we go. Fan favorite game. Fan favorite esports game, fan favorite like.
So here's the thing: they didn't necessarily do see something I like about the video game awards is they end up doing like 20% fans, 80% like a academy type thing.
Right.
And so that way you can still have a best game, but this was all completely just fan voted. And here's the thing about video game fans: they ruin everything.
Like literally, Fortnite won everything.
So
literally everything.
the main issue I have is there's like 5,000 awards.
Yeah.
A lot of which meant nothing.
Yeah.
They
like fan favorite celebrity gamer.
There's fan favorite celebrity gamer musician, favorite gamer athlete, favorite game and actor. So you had 3 different fan favorite celebrities. You have favorite male streamer, favorite female streamer. You can't just apparently put that in one. You have esports team, esport game, which somehow Fortnite won.
Everything.
I don't know how esport.
How is Fortnite an esport?
Yeah.
Please explain. How is Fortnite an esport?
Because they've had 2 tournaments and they were awful and no one watched them because it was just 100 people standing in one spot.
What was that one where Ninja won with a?
That was at I want to say it was at E3.
That was at E3. That was the only esport event that was like entertaining at the most.
It's because it was a whole bunch of athletes and streamers together. Like I don't know,
it was dumb.
They have a lot of issues going on with that award show. Favorite gaming device, PC won. Computers won awards.
Like what kind of shit, people?
I don't know. It definitely, looking at this list, like I don't know what, there was like 50 esports awards. Favorite esports player in CS:GO, favorite esports player in Overwatch, favorite Rocket League esports player, favorite PUBG, Fortnite. It's like,
for what?
You can condense so many of those things down. I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
We need everybody to win an award.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what it was. They're like, hey, if we invite you, will you come and take this award? Because like I'm looking at this, it's pretty cringy. Like I'm still scrolling through this list. Most anticipated game, like I don't need.
Like
that.
Why you need an award for most anticipated game? Like,
game that's coming out, like that's.
We haven't even seen the actual game. It's probably still in beta, and you saying we got a most anticipated game. Shut your ass up.
Favorite, most desired franchise for Resurrection. That's what.
Oh yeah, that's you and I
best
both
dead
were like
franchise.
Best dead franchise that needs resurrection.
Favorite streaming service, Twitch. Where else you want? Favorite gaming convention. All right, here's the thing. And things I didn't even like. I ignored these to the point where I didn't even look up who it was. And you came into work and you were like, "Hey, you see this?" And I was like, "We're gonna have to talk about this."
I laughed so hard finding this shit. Like I was on the phone with my best friend, and I was just sitting there, and she was asking me when we were recording again, and I'm just like, "Fuck." I was like, "I'm sorry. Let me read this shit," and I'm just like.
It takes you a whole hour to read because of all the freaking.
I was like,
categories.
What the hell is this? So yeah, I was distraught. Nonetheless,
but that's
let's not give Gamers Choice Awards any more time.
I like how I literally wrote on our docket. It says CBS Gamers Choice Awards. ... Let's get into this. Some more stuff that happened though. The PlayStation Classic came and flopped.
Yeah.
And the video games were already kind of a weird choice on there. They had a lot of PAL versions which ran at 50 hertz instead of 60 hertz. And then it recently came out, and this is still kind of rumored, that the PlayStation Classic had 30 other titles in its source code. Some of those games include Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2, Legacy of Kain 2 Soul Reaver, Medieval, Mega Man Legends, Parappa the Rappa, Silent Hill, Tomb Raider 1 and 2, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. That lineup alone is better than everything they put on there.
I wholeheartedly agree with you.
I don't know necessarily what happened. If they lost a lot of, like, if they just tried to see if it would work on there. If they couldn't get the rights to certain one of those games. If they pulled some of those games.
I feel like, specifically with Crash 2, Silent Hill, and Pro Skater 2, for all of those, when you played those back in the day, you needed the DualShock controller.
That's true.
And so half of these games that are on here, to be honest, you needed that DualShock
to
play.
Looking at it.
And so that's why I was like, I can understand why you didn't, but then that's the reason why I said if you were going to do a PlayStation Classic, I hate to be honest, you should have put it at $150, gave me an actual DualShock controller, and gave me 30 to 40 games. I would have been fine spending $150.
That's true. If you added more games and actually made the controllers worth using.
Right. If you would have gave me that, I would have been fine. But you gave me 20 games with the original PlayStation controller, and they're not even running at 60 FPS.
Or 60 hertz.
At 60 hertz, yeah, my bad. And it's just like,
Yeah, it's weird. Uh, I mean, I don't think at this point you can release a second version of that because no one's gonna trust you after the first version.
I think you could. The only thing is, you gotta,
You gotta wow us. I mean, that's true.
You gotta really wow us. Like, these games are good, but you need some more heavy hitters. Like, I better see Symphony of the Night on it.
Yeah.
Like, I better see it on there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think like without having like at least 50 games on there, it's hard for me to buy it.
And if I don't have Spyro,
yeah,
like, I'm not touching it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you shot yourself in the foot, and it's like for you to make another classic to even like be amazing, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things like if I just don't know what they were thinking with this thing at this point. Like
I agree.
It was one of those things where it was really exciting at first, but we were already kind of weary because he didn't announce that many titles.
No.
And then the rest of the titles came out and we're still kind of weary. And then the fact it did very poor as far as sales go doesn't surprise me at all.
Exactly.
Speaking of a whole bunch of stuff that's locked in the system, though, something I just want to talk about briefly. I got Smash Brothers Ultimate for the Switch. Man, do those characters take a long time to unlock.
I heard you have fun with that.
So I think they said there's roughly 74 characters.
74, 75, yeah.
Yeah. You start with 8, and pretty much so it's each 10 minutes of playtime you get the chance to unlock a new one. The thing is, usually the characters, like when you're first unlocking them, there's a set pattern you unlock them in, and they're kind of easy at first, but then once you get like probably like 10 characters unlocked, they get really hard. So not only are you trying to just make it so you can unlock these characters, but they also probably going to beat you, and you don't get them, and then you have to go rematch them through this thing later. And
I would say Johnny told me about that, like how if you lose, they go all the way back down the queue, and they gotta work themselves back up.
And like you can, like there's kind of ways to like scum it. Like if you unlock a character, you go to the home, you close out of Smash Brothers, reload in, do a quick one-stop game, kill yourself, and you find your character. The thing is, like, even with doing that strategy, and I was playing kind of off and on, it took me like a day and a half to 2 days to get everybody.
Oh, you got everybody?
Oh yeah, I got everybody. I pretty much did nothing until I got everybody, because it's the whole. I mean, more or less, it's a fighting game where it's a party game. You don't want to have. Let's see. You start with 10% of the content, pretty much.
And you don't have any other fighters, yeah.
And like, if there was an easier way to do it, or like, if I could choose the characters I was unlocking, that'd be nice. But the fact you're going to get them in this order that you don't have a choice of, it seems like a misstep. I mean, it's still a really good game, don't get me wrong, and I think it plays really well, but, like, my hand hurts from, like, just constantly, like, reset the game.
I think it would have helped if they would have instead of doing just 8 characters, maybe 15.
You can, I think, yeah, in more variety, definitely, because, like, the original 8 characters, they play different enough, but I don't really play any of those characters.
Right. And so, like, specifically for the system that you have, it's so hard. It's like, might as well give me something that I can be like, okay, I can dig it.
Or at least, like, have a way where there's, like, an in-game currency. Don't freaking sell it to me. Don't sell me any freaking, microtransactions, but give me like a way to
like do arcade mode, and like let me
like
rack it up, and I can
buy
unlock,
a character.
Right, I can unlock a character.
So that way I can get my character I want to play with that I can use to fight the other characters.
Don't do pay to play.
Yeah.
Don't do that shit. But just arcade, rack up coins, spin it to get unlock a.
Because because a lot of characters are kind of clones of each other. Let's say like I like to play as Crom now, but if I wanted to play as Marth because he's similar, I could get him for cheaper and then use him to unlock the other characters. I don't know. I hope there's a way in the future, or like, let's say if you buy it after a certain amount of time, that the characters are just there. Yeah. Like, oh, you bought the late edition. Like, here are all the characters. So, especially for tournaments and stuff. Like, can you imagine if you're running a tournament and you have like all these switches? You're like, I have to unlock it on all these switches. Like, what? Yeah, there's one little thing that we can briefly get into because we're gonna definitely get into it later.
Sonic has a motion poster out.
This thing's scary. We'll probably flash it on the screen here soon for Julien to edit later. But yeah, that movie, unless it goes full over the top with its insanity, is gonna be bad.
Bad's not even a word. I'm gonna hold my reservations for relatively good.
Yeah. We'll use this as a teaser. You go watch up to the reel coming out later this week, and you will see our full reaction to the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Initial reaction. Who signed off on this?
Who signed off on this?
Which one of y'all?
But we'll get into that later.
Which one of y'all?
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the little bell for notifications. Tell your friends about us. Comment on what you thought of the Video Game Awards and the CBS Gamers Choice Awards. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And we have Facebook as well.
Yes. Also, comment and tell us what games, if you were to create your own PlayStation Classic, what games would you have put?
Yeah, what games did they leave out that you would have put on?
I know there's so many that they left out, but just let us know. That's it for me.
Yeah, until next time, this has been your walkthrough. Thanks, guys.